Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to the Singapore Pavilion. I'm Elizabeth from JTC's New Estates Division. And I'm delighted to be your MC today. JTC is honored to be here for the next 3 days, where we, together with industry leaders, entrepreneurs, and experts, will explore smart, sustainable, and innovation developments. Today's session on developing smart and sustainable innovation districts is particularly meaningful as we discuss how we can harness smart technology and sustainable solutions to create innovative, livable districts where businesses and people can thrive. In the face of climate change and rapid technological advancement, such districts are crucial in driving productivity, creating quality jobs, and building a more sustainable future. Our program will begin with a sharing by JTC on our flagship development, Punggol Digital District. Today is also a very special day for us, as we will be witnessing the signing of a collaboration between JTC and Japan's Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism. Through this collaboration with MLIT, we look forward to advancing smart and sustainable development while strengthening climate resilience in both Japan and Singapore. Following this, our distinguished panelists representing developers, designers, solution providers, and academia will explore how different stakeholders can collaborate to create smart, sustainable, and livable districts for all. We invite you to continue these meaningful conversations over lunch, where you can enjoy Singapore's famous chicken rice and tiger beer. Now, I'm pleased to invite Mr. Nelson Liu, JTC's Group Director of New Estates, to share JTC's approach to developing districts. Nelson, please.
Ohayo gozaimasu. Good morning, everybody. My name is Nelson Liu. I'm the Group Director in charge of New Estates in JTC. Thank you so much once again for attending this presentation and panel discussion this morning. Today, I'll be sharing JTC's journey in developing smart and sustainable innovation districts in Singapore. I will start with a very quick overview of JTC. JTC was founded in 1968 and is a government agency that is responsible for constructing infrastructure, industrial infrastructure and buildings, and building business ecosystems. Today, more than 90% of all the industrial land in Singapore is owned by JTC. And this comes up to some 8,000 hectares of industrial land and more than 7 million square meters of built-up high-rise multi-user facilities. We also serve more than 13,000 customers, ranging from SMEs to MNCs. JTC's scope and the buildings and infrastructure that we developed has also evolved over the years as Singapore progresses, from building industrial townships to building specialized facilities, building ports, and high-rise facilities for the knowledge economy. Today, we are building the next generation smart and sustainable industrial districts. This is a map of Singapore. Singapore's land size is all but 735 square kilometers. The areas shaded in blue and black are land that are owned by JTC. We are building several next generation industrial districts today. We have those that are for advanced manufacturing, and this is what we call the Jurong Innovation District. We are also planning a new smart and sustainable district we call Sungai Kadok Eco District. These are for companies in circularity. In time to come, we will also be developing a Woodlands North Coast District. And these are places for companies that are service-oriented and building on the link from Singapore to Malaysia in the north. And for today, I will be elaborating on how we built the Punggol Digital District, which is a 50-hectare site located in the northeast of Singapore. The characteristics of these smart and sustainable innovation districts are a few. All our districts are located next to an institute of higher learning, whether is it a university or a polytechnic. This is so that we can enhance the academia and industry ecosystem. All our districts are also contains the work, play, live, learn element. So they are highly mixed use where people can recreate, work and study in the same location. Our districts also have very strong transportation connectivity, and they are all car light. And if you look at the new districts today, they are located away from the central CBD area. This is to alleviate traffic congestions when people have to come to the city center to work. And we do so by bringing jobs closer to the homes at the fringes of the island. And lastly, our estates are containing smart and sustainable shared infrastructure, which I will elaborate in a bit. This is a map of the Punggol Digital District, and we will be completing the final phase by this year. So I invite all the distinguished guests today to come visit us, and we will be very happy to host you. The district is 50 hectares in size, but today we are only building up to 25 hectares, while the rest of the land has been safeguarded for future expansion. Other than the business parks, it is co-located together with a university. Other than the university, the business park space, it is also co-located with a residential estate that will have more than 35,000 residents. Our business park, it is fully completed, will create 28,000 new jobs in the new knowledge economy. PDD is an estate that is built for companies. Yeah, okay. Don't need the mic. Is it all right? Okay. PDD is an estate that is built for companies in AI, robotics, fintech, as well as smart city solutions. It is also a project that we want to showcase our smart nation ambitions for Singapore. This is a layout plan for PDD. Other than the business park spaces, which comes up to more than 3.2. Oh, that is not working. Okay.
So you continue to present quite loudly. Then once the mic is up, I cue you.
Okay, all right, yeah. So other than the business park space, we have other amenities. For example, we have a community club that is located in PDD. We have childcare centers. It is also a transport hub where the subway and the bus interchange are integrated deeply into the district. In the district, we also have a hotel that is facing the waterfront. So this really comes up to what we call a work, play, live and learn community. Within the district, we also have 20,000 square meters of commercial spaces where employees and visitors can have access to F&B and retail. The district is planned in 3 different layers. At the ground floor is a very porous common space with a civic plaza, with amenities, and our Punggol Coast Mall is located on the ground floor. And at the basement is where all the M&E facilities are located. At the same time, all the car parks are also located in the basement. And this car park serves not just our business park space, but also the university campus. The third tier, the third level, is at level 7. This is what we call the innovation loop. We have 1.2 kilometers of sky bridges that links up all the buildings on the business park side to the buildings on the university side, so that people can access the different parts of the district very seamlessly by walking on these sky bridges. PDD is also the first enterprise district in Singapore. So what is an enterprise district? In the traditional sense, every plot of land has a designated land use, and you can only use that designated land use within the same plot. But in PDD, under the enterprise district, we are able to mix the different land uses across different land plots. This is an innovation in our land planning rules. By doing that, we are able to stack up different users within the same building. And one physical manifestation of this enterprise district is the space swap between JTC and the university. We have a floor in our business park space that is given to the university for their teaching facilities, their labs, and their classrooms. At the same time, the university has also freed up some of their university campus spaces for us to use as industrial spaces. So our companies can actually be located within the university campus. This has helped to foster the industrial academia collaboration. I will now talk a bit more about how we implant sustainability in the way that we plan, design, and build PDD. At the onset, we use several computer tools to help us lay out our building and their facing so as to minimize the heat gain to the building and to maximize natural ventilation using solar analysis and wind analysis, including at the same time using a facade to help us deflect the heat that comes into the building, but at the same time allowing maximum light to come through. And this is very important because PDD is a sustainable district and we are aiming for it to become net zero in time to come. At PDD, we have several estate-wide shared infrastructure. And the first is a district cooling system that serves the entire 50 hectares. Having a district cooling system will help enhance the productivity and the efficiency of cooling. But at the same time, it also frees up the rooftop spaces for us to use for solar panel installation as well as urban farming. In PDD, we also have a pneumatic waste conveyance system that runs across the entire district. A pneumatic waste conveyance system is basically a set of underground pipes where the rubbish can be conveyed to a centralized collection point underground. And when the trucks can just come in and take out the tank very easily. This has allowed us to reduce the smell and reduce the number of rubbish trucks that will be traversing the estate, and it will make the estate a lot more pleasant. In PDD, we also have 2 huge biodigesters to turn food waste into fertilizers. At the rooftop of our buildings, we are now also testing combining solar panels with urban farming and to improve the productivity of these rooftops. PDD also has retention tanks and collection tanks where we will be able to harvest the rainwater for irrigation and cleaning. And we will also have a smart estate level operating system to help us optimize the building controls and management systems. This photo is a photo of a timber building that we have constructed in JTC. It is the tallest timber concrete hybrid building in Southeast Asia at 40 meters tall. The building is made of mass-engineered timber, which helps to reduce embodied carbon by 98%. PDD Smart District is underpinned by an open digital platform, which is a estate-level middleware that we have designed and deployed for our districts. In the traditional architecture, all the building systems and the smart systems are connected to one another through this very complicated web of one-to-many connections. And this has posed some problems for us, because if we were to add in any new building management systems or smart systems, it means that this new system has to then be linked to each of these systems individually. And when you want to upgrade any of these building systems or sensors, then you have to rebuild all the connections all over again. We find this inefficient and it's very costly. So by building this estate level operating system, it's something like your Android OS in your phones. Once you plug into this open digital platform, then you are automatically be interconnected with all the different building systems within the district. And the advantage is that once the different building systems are interoperable, you will be able to test out many different use cases. For example, having a robot that comes across the building, go up the lift, go through the gantry, and open doors. Without this, you will have to build many different connections from the robot to the different individual building systems. So these are some of the use cases that we are testing in PDD. And we have categorized it under 3 categories. The first is in facilities management and estate management, where we will help optimize the different building systems, reduce energy consumption. We also have a category of use cases that helps to enhance the convenience of our visitors and employees working in the district. And these are things like smart retail, smart parking, and smart concierge. At the end of the day, we also collect a lot of district-level data that we can share with the different stakeholders, like our retailers and our tenants. Things like crowd analysis, energy consumption can be shared with them on the platform. Other than the ODP as a backbone of PDD, we have also developed a digital twin for PDD. This digital twin is not just a visualization tool. It is actually a C3 system, what we call command, control, and communication system, that allows us to put all the different building district level in the same platform. And you can do visualization, you can do analysis, and you can also do controls. This is a picture of an image of our smart, digital twin, where you can see the lifts moving in real time, right? And if something is to break down, immediately the operator will be able to pinpoint where the problem is, and they will be able to go down to site and to troubleshoot. We have also, in recent months, built in artificial intelligence and machine learning into this ODP. And these are two use cases that we have tested out. The first is where we put together the environmental temperature data with the occupancy data in the building. And with these two data put together, the ODP will be able to automatically optimize the air condition in the room, and that will help reduce energy consumption at the district level. This is another use case where using AI, we are able to study the usage trends for lifts in the district. For a given period within a day or a given day within a year, we will be able to tell which are the timing within that period where the lifts are least used. When that happens, the system can actually shut down some of the lifts and thereby reducing energy consumption. In PDD, we are also working with a consortium of partners to implement a smart grid system. Smart grid system is basically a combination of solar panels with a energy storage solution. With the smart grid controller, which is connected to the ODP and to the different building systems, we are able to time when we release the energy, the electricity from the battery to the national grid. And this will happen during hours when the energy prices are the highest. And this will help us achieve the effect of peak shaving. With peak shaving, we are able to help improve the resilience of our national grid in Singapore. And at the same time, it will also give us some cost savings because we will be able to use less energy when the electricity prices are at the highest. Our ambition for PDD is for the estate to become net zero by 2045. Today, with passive design strategies and active design strategies, together with the use of AI, ML, and solar panel, we are able to reduce our energy consumption by between 50 and 70% compared to the 2015 levels. And in time to come, either with the use of RECs or we import green energy, we believe that we will be able to become net zero very soon. So this is my last slide where we show all the different smart and sustainable systems that we have developed in PDD. And I will conclude by saying that smart and sustainability go hand in hand. With smartness, using AI, ML, and our ODP, we are able to reduce energy consumption, and it will make the whole estate more efficient and our facilities management more productive. At the same time, it will also help visitors and employees by providing them with more convenience, and this will help improve the lives and livelihoods of Singapore and Singaporeans. Yeah. So with that, I'll come to the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Nelson, for sharing JTC's work in developing estates that are smart, sustainable, and livable. As JTC continues to push the frontiers of smart and sustainable development, we are excited to partner with Japan's MLIT in an effort to strengthen climate resilience in Japan and Singapore. Today, we are honored to have MLIT's Deputy Director General, Mr. Shinichi Goto, to present their work in smart and sustainable development. Mr. Goto, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues. I'm Shinichi Goto. My title is here, but moreover, Actually, I was born in 1968, so it means same age of the JTC. Okay. Yes. Today, I'd like to introduce the current status of the whole life carbon approach in Japan and the Project Plateau, a digital twin initiative in the urban sector. First, I'd like to provide an overview of the background of our discussions. Japan has a long history on WLC approach, starting with the WLC guideline and CO2 intensity database, both developed in 2013 by the Architectural Institute of Japan. Then, in 2022, an upfront carbon calculation tool based on the AIJ guideline was developed with the initiative of major real estate companies. Following these initiatives, Zero Carbon Building Promotion Council was established through a collaborative effort between industry, government, and academia. This council initiated a comprehensive discussion of WLC approach and the development of a CO2 intensity database. In last October, the Zero Carbon Building, sorry. Ah, yes. The Zero Carbon Building Promotion Council unveiled the Japan Carbon Assessment Tool, JCAT, a life cycle CO2 calculation tool specifically designed to count for Japanese building conditions. JCAT is available free of charge and is anticipated to significantly advance the implementation of WLC approach. Moreover, a notable achievement of JCAT is to foster a common understanding of WLC approach methods among various stakeholders. To expedite the institutionalization of the WLC approach and the development of CO2 intensity databases, such as EPDs, two significant councils have been established last fall. The first is EPD Promotion Council. This council was formed with the participation of building material and equipment manufacturers, relevant ministries, and academia. Its purpose is to build capabilities and share knowledge for the development of a comprehensive CO2 intensity database. The second is Inter-Ministerial Liaison Meeting for Building Life Cycle Carbon Reduction. This meeting, organized by the Cabinet Secretariat, aims to accelerate discussions towards WLC regulation by involving related ministries in the dialogue. On 7th May, the Inter-Ministerial Liaison Meeting adopted the basic concept on promoting measures to reduce whole life carbon of buildings. This slide shows the summary of the basic concept. Today, I will explain about the image of society to be materialized and approaches. As an image of society to be materialized, it is stated that a society to generate a virtuous cycle to lead to decarbonization by building producers and building-related manufacturers. Next, to smoothly introduce and to ensure its effectiveness, a step-by-step approach will be formulated for implementation of building LCA. We are also planning to develop the intensity data such as EPD. Lastly, it is also studied that we aim at starting a system to promote implementing building LCA in 2028. According to the OECD report, only a few countries, such as Nordic countries and France, have introduced specific policies regarding LCA for buildings. I feel that it is very meaningful for Singapore and Japan to work together to spread the word about the importance of LCA for buildings to the world. So far, I will introduce the current status of the whole life carbon approach in Japan. Now let's move on to the Project Prato, a digital twin initiative in the urban sector. Project Prato is launched in 2020 as a project led by MLIT. This project is promoting the development utilizing open 3D city models data and serving as the infrastructure for the digital transformation of urban development and planning. The Prato data includes not only the shape of the buildings, but also the meaning of the building structure, such as building usage. In addition, the Prato uses an international standard called City GML as the data format to achieve a high level of interoperability that can be used in various fields. Here is an example of using the meaning of urban space. This slide shows a visual overlay, including urban planning zoning with Prato data. You can see the commercial area on the red and the residential area on the yellow. And high-rise buildings are concentrated on the red zone. On Prato, you can continuously add and layer various kinds of information about cities. Next, let me show you what we have achieved so far. It's been 5 years since this project started. The number of cities initiated the project has reached 250 cities, and we are looking to expand to 500 cities in 2 years. Population coverage rate has already exceeded 50%. We are encouraging more cities to participate in Prato and provide excellent digital services for the local residents and organizations, and ultimately enhance the well-being of the communities. On the other hand, the 3D city model is just a model. What is important is how we use it. In terms of Prato, a wide range of use cases have been developed in various fields, not only in urban planning and disaster management, but also in tourism, energy policy, infrastructure management, and others. We will continue to develop more and use 3D city models to solve social issues and create new value. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Goto. We will now proceed with the signing of the collaboration between JTC and MLIT. Representing JTC, we have Mr. Nelson Liu as the signatory and Mr. David Tan, Assistant Chief Executive Officer of JTC, as the witness. From MLIT, we have Mr. Toru Ishikawa, Counselor for Global Strategies of the Policy Bureau, as the signatory, and Mr. Shinichi Goto as the witness. May we invite all signatories and witnesses up, please. Let us now proceed with the signing. Next, let us proceed with the group photo. May I invite all signatories to stand for a group photo. Thank you to all signatories and witnesses. We look forward to our collaboration with MLIT. You may now take your seats. We have now come to our panel discussion on developing smart and sustainable districts. Together with experts across the urban development ecosystem, we will explore how we can develop districts that are innovative, smart, and sustainable. Through the discussion, we will examine the intricate relationship between physical infrastructure, digital solutions, and human-centric design. The session will be moderated by Mr. David Tan, alongside our distinguished panelists. Mr. Toshiyuki Inoue, Senior Executive Officer of Mitsubishi Estate. Mr. Kenichi Yoshida, Chief Business Officer of SoftBank Robotics. Professor Yoshiki Yamagata, Professor at the Graduate School of System Design and Management, Keio University. Ms. Jessie Tan, Regional Director, Buildings APAC, Rambo. May we invite our moderator and panelists up.
Hello, testing. Okay, a very good morning, everybody. Just now you heard two fantastic presenters talking a little bit about smart and sustainable districts. Nelson actually highlighted the fact that we have developed Punggol Digital District into a what we call a work, live, play, learn district to support the digital industry. And we also heard from Mr. Goto from MLIT, who has highlighted to us the concept of using life cycle carbon assessment, as well as having a platform like Plateau to be able to put various systems together so that you can actually develop hindsight, insight, and foresight in order to achieve sustainable and smart development. Today, I'm very happy that I have a very distinguished panel of speakers this morning, and I think my colleague has introduced them. This is a very important session for us. It is about coming up with smart and sustainable, innovative districts. And we would like to very much hear from each and every one of you as to how we can develop smart and sustainable innovation districts, and what are some of your perspectives that you have, taking into consideration of not only policies, but also taking into consideration of the technology that's currently available and how we can actually work together collaboratively to achieve the vision. So maybe I would like to spend some time to ask individual speaker to speak a little bit about their views on smart and sustainable district. And I would like Mr. Toshiyuki Inoue to start. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Toshiyuki Inoue from Mitsubishi Estate. Sorry for speaking Japanese. 皆さん聴衆も日本人の方が多いと思いますので、日本語でお話しいたします。私は1989年に三菱地所に入社しましてですね、最近20年ぐらいはですね、この丸の内を中心としたまちづくりに関わっています。皆さんご存知かと思いますけれども、丸の内という場所はその東京駅と皇居というですね、日本を代表するエリアに挟まれた場所の開発です。で、そこはですね、一つ一つの建物だけではなくてですね、約100棟の大きなオフィスビルが集まってですね、エリア一帯でまちづくりを行っていると。これが大きな特徴です。で、三菱地所が関わっているのは約3分の1のビルですけれども、残りのビルの地権者ですね、土地の所有者の方々、それからそこで働いている方々と一緒にですね、まちづくりを考えているというのが大きな特徴です。それからもう一つこれから事例としてご紹介しますけれども、グラングリーン大阪ですね。これは大阪駅のすぐ隣の再開発で20年かけてようやく完成に近づきました。でもちろんこれは関西のいろいろな事業者と三菱地所が一緒に開発したものですけれども、やはり三菱地所の大きな役割はそこでいかにそのエリア一帯のマネージメントを行っていくかということがですね、大事だということで、この20年間開発を行ってきたということです。これは丸の内のエリアですね。実は丸の内のエリアを三菱、当時は三菱地所ではなくて三菱社という一つの大きなグループの会社でしたけれども、それを購入したのは1890年ということで、今から135年前ということです。で、当時はこれは、江戸時代のですね、江戸城の前の各藩の武家屋敷があったエリアです。そういったこともあって比較的区画の一つ一つがですね、大きいということが特徴になりますけれども、そこを利用したということになりまして、購入した4年後ですね、1894年にはですね、最初のオフィスビルができたということになります。60年前ですね、1960年代ですね、ちょうどシンガポールは建国した頃だと思いますけれども、その頃はですね、すでにこの丸の内はこの日本のビジネスセンターとして機能していたわけなんですけれども、その頃はもう働くためだけの街でした。月曜から金曜日9時から5時だけ人がいる。で、それ以外の時は人がいないという街でしたけれども、ここ30年ぐらいですね、30年ぐらいかけて、そういったオフィスのみの街をですね、いろいろな用途が複合化する街というものに、三菱地所が中心となって変えてきたというところになります。これはもう少し、ここで、この30年間でですね、変えてきたことと、それからやっぱりこの10年間でですね、特に、そのエリアマネージメントの高度化、それからやっぱり DX ですね、デジタル化をですね、うまく組み合わせるということで、どんどんまちづくりとしては進化をしておりまして、より早い変化に対応できたりですとか、あるいはその働いている人たち 一人一人にですね、満足度や幸福度をですね、高めていくということをですね、今進めているような状況になります。それからこれがですね、大阪に今完成したグランフロント大阪、グラングリオン大阪というエリアです。これももともとはですね、鉄道の操車場だったところですね、ここをですね再開発されたということで、大きな枠組みは大阪市というですね公共が建てましたけれども、やっぱりそこでの事業をですね実際に提案してこの開発を行ったというグループに三菱地所が入っているということです。で、三菱地所はですねここを開発する際にこのエリアだけではなくて、実はこの大阪駅の周りにはそれぞれ開発されたエリアがもうすでにできていましたので、やはりそういったところと一緒になってですねマネジメントすることで、大阪駅全体のですねやっぱり価値を上げるということをですね考えたというのが一つ大きな特徴です。それからやはりこの大阪にはあまりなかったですね、この非常に大きなですねこの緑化空間ですね、これを作って、その周りにこう建物とかいろいろな機能を配置することによって、この緑を中心としたこの街づくりということですね。でこれは単に、量だけではなくてですね、その質を高めることによってやはりこの空間をですねいろいろな形でこう使えるような提案をしたというのが大きな特徴であるかなというふうに思います。この会場から非常に近いのでですね、ぜひ皆さんご覧になっていただきたいなというふうに思っております。私からは以上です。
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Unoue-san. For those who have not been to Marunouchi or even Green Osaka, I would strongly encourage that every one of you actually visit there. It is really a very beautiful place, and it is also very well integrated. You can see that from the train station all the way up to the different buildings and with the connectivity. And I also was telling Mr. Unoue-san that you could not get lost even though the signage are not there, because somehow you could be able to move from one place to another place. So a very beautiful estate that you have developed. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Kenichi Yoshida-san to share with us a little bit about what SoftBank does in terms of using technology to integrate with buildings and estates to create a more efficient and productive life for people.
Thank you. Thank you for introduction. Hi, my name is Kenichi Yoshida, Chief Business Officer of the SoftBank Robotics. Maybe in Japan, the name of the SoftBank is famous for mobile carrier, but they already went IPO public, and we just own the 40% of them. So we are more like in SoftBank group side under Masa-son, Son's leadership. And we have, let's say, 3 business. One is the SoftBank Vision Fund, which is the venture capital focusing on the AI and robotics. And we, SoftBank Robotics, provide a global go-to-market support for the SoftBank Vision Fund portfolio company. And third business is the SoftBank Hawks, which is the baseball team. And speaking of the facility management robot, we already sold over 20,000 units with the 65% of the global market share. However, facility management industry is not so simple, because when facility management company want to use robot, client starts saying, including JTC maybe, start saying that maybe you need to do the price down. So there is no incentive for the, let's say, facility management company to accelerate digital transformation for the traditional business model. That's the reason why we acquired the medium size of the facility management company in Japan, Singapore, UK, and Australia, and turned them into the digital facility management company called SPX, Smart PX. rather than providing digital solutions to facility management company, we provided the digitalized facility management services to client. And we already have the, let's say, 6,000 human cleaners and security guard and $300 million revenue of the facility management services. However, robot is just a small piece of entire smart facility management solution we provide. You can understand maybe robot can only cover, let's say, 10 to 20% of entire facility management work. We still need that the human cleaner, human security guard. So orchestration of the human staff and robot and even facility itself is very important. So we need a smart facility management platform, which is very similar to open digital platform concept of the JTC, but we need this type of the orchestration. And there are 3 steps of the smart facility management. Step 1 is the detection. Through the security camera, camera on robot and drone, or IoT sensor, we can detect the event or incident of the facility. Step 2 is decision. Facility management AI can decide at the appropriate action reacting to the, let's say, detected event in order to maximize the objective KPI, such as the managing cost, customer satisfaction, or let's say carbon footprint. And then step 3 is action. AI send the work order to robot, drone, or let's say human staff, and maybe facility itself like a lift, doors, and gate to execute that the action, AI suggested. So this is kind of the comprehensive smart facility management platform. Let me give you the several use case. When security camera detect suspicious people in the midnight, then AI can send the robot or drone to check in the detail or provide a warning to them. Or let's say security camera, if the security camera detected the wet floor, coffee spilled over the floor, then AI can send a work order to the cleaner closest to that point. So that kind of the things is more like a use case of the smart facility management. I just want to give you that the comprehensive case study for the smart facility management. This client is the Japanese major developer, building owner, and they realized that there is a strong correlation between tenancy renewal rate and tenant customer satisfaction, maybe of course. And the 50% of the factors to make an impact on the customer satisfaction is soft services, including cleaning, security, and conditioning, which we can control. While rest of the 50% is the hard conditions like location, size, age of the building, which we cannot control. So this client started the digital transformation project in order to improve the customer satisfaction. They picked up the one medium size of the building, and before there are 4 cleaners, human cleaners. But right now, there are 2 cleaners and 2 robots. Rather than reducing 2 headcount, they changed the role of the cleaner to concierge. Concierge can react at the direct request from the client. They place the load of the QR code across the facility and the tenant employee can easily submit the cleaning request to the concierge, like tap on the wash basin is very dirty or door glass is broken, something like that. Then definitely customer satisfaction was dramatically improved, but important things is they can improve the customer satisfaction without increasing the cost. If we increase the cost, it's very easy to improve the customer satisfaction. So this is a very good example for the smart facility management. Robot can cover very low value added tasks like floor care, while human staff can concentrate on high value added tasks like human touch, high touch services. So still, smart facility management, digital solution, we still need the people, and most important things is the high touch, human touch services. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That is indeed very impressive of how you actually use operations and technology, or OpsTech, together to be able to fulfill a very important part to enhance user satisfaction, and that is in the area of smart facilities management. Thank you very much, Mr. Yoshida-san. Next, I'd like to Professor Yamagata-san, who is working at Keio University and looking at urban design systems. And I'd like Professor Yamagata to share a little bit about some of his work in smart city development.
May I stand? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please allow me to speak in Japanese. 少し講義みたいになっちゃうんですけれども、東京の過去と現在と未来を少しここで考えてみたいと思います。これは皆さんパッと見てお分かり、東京地区にお住まいの方はすぐお分かりだと思うのですが、東京過去50年以上にわたってどこがアーバニゼーション、都市化してきたかを人工衛星の画像で分析して抽出したものです。赤いところが都市化が進んだところです。ここはもともと森があったり水田があったりしたところなんですが、それはほとんど開発されて都市化しました。で、今から50年前、東京の人口2500万人でして、今約4000万人の人がここに住んでいますが、皆さんこれを見て何がこの東京が世界最大のメガシティになった理由かっていうのはお分かりでしょうか。すなわち今から150年以上前になりますが、江戸時代から明治時代になって一番初めに日本が、政府の GDP の約 70% ぐらいをかけて投入したのがこの鉄道の建設です。ですので今日の東京がこのような世界最大のメガシティになったのは鉄道が作られたからなんですね。この普通はまず都市ができてから後で鉄道を作ろうとする国が多いんですが、これなかなか難しいんですね。それでどうしても道路になってすごいトラフィックジャムが起きてしまうので、こんな4000万人も住む都市になることはほぼないです。これは多分これからもあまりないと思います。で、それが今現状でどうなっているかというのを携帯の位置情報ですね。これは今日はソフトバンクさん来られてますけれども、ドコモとソフトバンクと au のデータを集めて足したようなデータになっております。それでも全体の人口の 10% しか取れていませんけれども、これをずっと集めてきました。で、これは実は、マトシムというのを使ってるんです。これは ATH がスイスで開発したものなんですが、実は彼らの、ATH シンガポール校というのがありまして、そこと共同研究で進めているものです。で、これは東京のビッグデータを入れて、どこにの自宅から仕事に、そして学校に、また買い物に行っているかというのを分析してですね、AI で分析しました。で、モデルを作っています。これが今日の東京です。これは約4000万人近い人がどう動いているかということで、私はこれを見て、まるで細胞かバクテリアがのようにうごめいているようなのがこのメガシティなんだなというふうに思ったんです。 じゃあこれが今日で、これから東京、大阪もですが、この日本の都市はどういうふうに変化していくのでしょうかというのを、今私たちの研究室では授業や研究プロジェクトで考えています。今そちらに数名の大学院生が、いますけれども、社会人大学院生なんですね。これは実はどこだと思われますか？これは東京の日本橋です。三井不動産さんには悪いんですけど、今建っている三井不動産さんの建物ちょっとなくなった図を作ってしまいましたけれども、高速道路が撤去されて、もう一度元々の日本橋がやっぱり江戸時代運河があった町だったんですね、東京というのは。だからもう一度その船を活用する町にできないかということを考えました。またここに空飛ぶ車が飛んでいます。ちょうど今そこで空飛ぶ車の実験を私たちの研究室の関係者も入ってやっているんですけれども、当然この2030年ではなくて50年ぐらいになりますと、普通に空飛ぶ車が街に飛んでいるでしょうということであります。じゃあそこで街がどういうふうに変わるんだろうっていうのビジョンを作っているんですが、実は今日は先ほどお話があったサステナブルな、コミュニティというのはどう変わるかというのを私たちが考えたビジョンです。これが現在の東京や大阪の姿なんですね。でこれは非常に高級なマンションやオフィスがあって、こういうような、歩道もあるんですが、実際にこれは人にとって快適な街ではなくて、実は車にとって快適な街になってしまっているんではないかと。もう一度人間のウェルビーイング、あるいはコミュニティのスペースを人間中心社会に取り戻すというのが、もしもこの新しい技術を使ってできれば素晴らしいなということで、自動運転の車が来たらですね、これはゆっくりと走って人がいればすぐ止まるというようなものだけがここに入れるようにして、いろいろなフードですとか、いろいろなデリバリーサービス、場合によっては医療サービスも提供できるような車が来ると。だけれども人間がその買い物に行ったり、人間が、どっかに出かけるために車に乗るんではなくて、サービスがここに来る。そうすると街は全然変わって、この通りはもっと IoT の技術を使ってですね、快適にできるんじゃないかということで、もちろん緑を回復させると、今どうですか、ここにはお年寄りの人がここに降りてきてお話しするスペースはありませんが、こういうふうになればここで若い人も年寄りの皆さんもお話ができるというコミュニティがもう一度再生できる。これをいう東京にしたらいいんじゃないかなというふうに考えています。でさらにもう一つ大きなこれからの変化としては、湾岸地区の開発ですね。今ここ私たちがいるところもまさに新しく埋め立てられた、土地なわけですが、湾岸地区は日本はもっともっと良くなると。先ほど東京が運河の町だったと言いましたけれども、もう少し海辺に私たちは注意を払って可能性を考えたらどうかということです。これは品川の例を設計図を引いてみたものなんですが、品川はこの大阪から約1時間で行けるところになるわけですね。しかし今どうでしょう、品川駅で降り、ここのお台場に行くのに実は1時間ぐらいかかってしまうと。これはほとんどありえないということですね。これはなのでここにリニアが来ますと、そしたらこのお台場ですとか、こちらに豊洲があります。これ本当に素晴らしいところなわけですが、ここに緑道を作ってここから船で行くというふうにすれば、これは新しいここに町ができるだろうと。そして当然船ももっともっと活用できる。世界中の富裕層の人もクルーザーで、ここに東京に来て楽しむ。京都にもちろん素晴らしいところたくさんありますが、東京の水辺ももっとよくできれば素晴らしいところになるんじゃないか。江戸時代のような運河の、楽しめる街にできたらいいなっていうのが、考えです。そのためにいろいろなモビリティが連携して、これは今そこでまさに実験されようとしているんですけれども、陸海空のモビリティを統合して、そしてそれをマースとして使いやすくすることで、先ほどのような緑がいっぱいあふれて、人が快適に過ごせて便利に移動できる。移動することは目的ではないんですね。移動はできるだけ快適にして目的地で楽しむということで、 今までの発展は、日本の発展は鉄道や車に依存してたんですけれども、これからは新しい陸海空の湾岸でのモビリティの活用というのができるんじゃないかと。ぜひこの辺はシンガポールでも同じようなコンセプトで、新しい発展もできるかと思いますので、この、ワークショップ、パネルディスカッションを通じて、またシンガポールとの連携なども発展できれば良いなというふうに思っています。先ほどのシンガポールの未来の中で、大学が街の中に入っているというのは非常に心強く感じました。ぜひこの新しい東京もそのようなモデルで、慶応大学に限りませんけれども、この湾岸に一つ学校を作るようなことで、竹芝、ちょうどソフトバンクの本社がね、竹芝にありますんで、今うちも竹芝のフローティングシティを提案しているところなんで、そういうところでまた新しいプロジェクトを進めさせていただければいいなと思いました。ちょっと話長くなりましたが、以上です。
Thank you very much, Professor Yamagata. It is very impressive that you are actually using big data and using systems design and user-centric design to take into consideration of transportation, urban, and really to create a more conducive environment for people. So thank you very much. Next, I'd like to invite Ms. Jessie Tan from Singapore, Rambo. Rambo is a consultant who is a multidisciplinary consultant, and they have actually done a lot of projects on how to make a district, or how to make a buildings a lot more sustainable. So Jessie, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much, David. And thanks, my name is Jessie. I'm the Regional Director for Asia Pacific at Rambo. And my role is to lead and drive business growth in Asia Pacific. And my main focus is actually on sustainability, design, excellence, and also client focus. What I will do is that I will show you some of the journey that basically Rambo is a global design engineering consulting company founded in 1945 in Denmark. And currently, right today, we have 18,000 strong people companies in 250 offices worldwide, and we have actually delivered 40,000 projects per year. And in Asia Pacific, we are actually focused in 5 business areas, which is basically buildings, which I am in charge of buildings. I lead buildings, and I have a group of experts of about 100 in Singapore and Malaysia, and within our groups that we have actually delivered more than 1,000 projects in the regions for the past 2 decades. And buildings-wise is that we integrate civil and structures consultancy, mechanical, electricals, plumbing design, environmental and sustainable design, and smart future consultancy. And next is the environmental and health, offering environmental consulting and health-related advisory services. And the next one is energy. We offer end-to-end consultancy services within energy sector, supporting transitions to a low-carbon future. Transport, we specialize in transport planning, traffic design, and system analysis. And last but not least, water, providing expert in climate resilience, water management, and adaptation solutions. And I have been with I'd like to share my professional journey is that I have been with Web Structures from 1996 to 2020. Web Structures was a bespoke civil structures consultancy firm founded in Singapore in 1996. I began my journey there as a young structural engineer. I have opportunities to travel extensively to the region. This is one of the first projects that I have done, which is a 4-season hotel in Ubud. That was 20 years ago, and it is very relevant currently. Like it actually integrates nature and sustainability into that project. Next is actually a resort in Hard Rock, Pattaya, and a Singapore embassy in Bangkok, and also another Singapore embassy in Cambodia. So as we grew in size and reputations, I have just stepped into a leadership role, and our projects get more and more complex, and we move into a more sustainable engineering solutions. Like the first one is actually Tokyo Marine, is actually situated in Singapore's Central Business District, and this is the first project that we have won the gold certifications at that time. And it actually integrated structures with architecture seamlessly, and we save a lot of embodied carbon as well. And this is actually the a pre-war historical buildings that nicely integrated with becomes a contemporary hotels in Sentosa Island. And this was the first project that we actually used permanent soil nail to become a retaining structure. And we went without any RC's retaining wall, and actually make it very, very sustainable in terms of our design solutions. And this is actually a media city, media hub, is actually a national media hub headquarters in Singapore that we collaborate with a renowned architectures company called Maki and Associate in Japan, together with DP Architects. And we actually use a lot of steel to reduce the carbons, and we also want the platinum certificates from these projects. And as we grow, this is another signature project that we collaborate with JTC, and it's actually a design incubator situated in Orchard Road, along Orchard Road, which is one of the iconic shopping street in Singapore. And this is actually a showcase of high performance and context-driven design. And as we grew in 2011 to 2022, we actually set up Web Earth with actually offering sustainable, environmental and sustainable design consultancy, which we feel that we need to move into a more sustainable journey in terms of our structural design at that time, and also to provide more professional insight to the overall environment. And we have actually done more than 100 over projects in the past 15 years. This is one of the first on-site net zero energy which we have done with Singapore Management, SMU, Singapore Management University in their city campus. This is another 50-story mixed developments in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and we have won the Green Building Index Gold, which is equivalent to a LEED Gold certifications. And this is actually the SIT, the Singapore Institute Technology University, which is part of the PDD master plan, and we have won the platinum certifications, and 3 which are the super low SLE super low energy buildings. And both Web Structures and Web Earth as a group of companies being acquired by Rumble, and we are what we are now today, and we continue to innovate and make sure that we achieve sustainability in whatever we do. And this is one of the projects that we have done. Currently, it's ongoing with a Founders Memorial. It's a competition-winning project with Kengo Kuma Architects in Japan, in collaboration with our local architects, K2LD Singapore. And last but not least is a Sampyo headquarters in South Korea. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Jessie. It is indeed impressive on the number of projects that you have carried out over the years to make our buildings and our estates a lot more sustainable. Well, at this point in time, I'd like to have an open discussion with the various panelist members. Maybe can each member tell us what are some of the key elements that make a city or a district smart and sustainable? And perhaps you could start on my left, Mr. Une-san.
Thank you. Speaking Japanese ですね、私はやっぱり大事なことはですね、やっぱりそれぞれの、人の個人個人のレベルでですね、やっぱりどういう満足度だとか、あるいはその幸福度だとか、そういったものを感じられるようにするかというのが大事であるかなというふうに思ってます。で、これがですね、やっぱりDX などを中心としてその技術が進化することでですね、徐々に反映できるようになってきているのではないかなというふうに思います。で、その背景にはですね、その働き方というものも少し変わってきたということがあります。5、60年前には単に工場で物を作ってそれを売るというのが一つのビジネスのモデルだったんですけれども、やはりそれが例えば新しいものを生み出すときにその一つの会社の中だけではなくて、いろいろな人たちとコラボレーションして新しい製品プロダクツであるとか、そのビジネスモデルを作っていくという、この交流の必要性というものがですね、一つ大きな流れの変化になってきた。で、それに応じて街が変わっていこうとすると、単に机と椅子だけを並べるオフィスだけではダメだということになったんではないかなというふうに思っています。
Mr. Yoshida.
Yes. So, as I said, that the maybe most important things for the smart or let's say sustainable district is the, let's say, brain, which is more like AI. AI can, let's say, evaluate at the current situation, and then to maximize at the objective, maybe AI can, control the district. So as I said, three steps. Detection, let's say decision by AI, and let's say action, reaction based on the AI decision. That might be the very, important ecosystem. However, the one of the things we need to, think about is what is the objective of the district? Common pitfall of the digital transformation is so digital transformation is objective, but actually not. Digital transformation is just a means. And in order to do something, we need digital transformation, smart, facility management. So we need to set that the objective of the smart facility management. Then maybe we can use AI and robot and ecosystem, everything. But to define the objective is very important for smart facility management.
Good. Thank you very much. Mr. Yamagata.
Okay. Actually, I have been studying this topic over 20 years as a lead author for the IPCC. And actually, there is no conclusion yet. But this is just my personal view. Is that, of course, city need to be carbon neutral. But the ultimate goal is the well-being. So I suggest that for achieving the well-being of the cities, and of course this is sustainable, and of course I think there are three factors I actually teach to my students always. Three factors that is most important for humans: nature, culture, food. So high quality nature, high quality culture, high quality food need to be maintained and also be revitalized even in order to make this our city sustainable. That's my personal view.
And Jesse, what are some of the key elements that makes a district or a city smart and sustainable?
I would say that the clear visions to be set in place in the outset is very important, so that at least when we come in and design as a part of the multidisciplinary team, and we drive together with the stakeholder like yourself and also other consultancy to make sure that we actually words towards the visions. And what I echo with what Professor here says is that he talked about 3 elements, which is nature, people, and food. But I would say nature is the key elements together with the community and also, of course, technology. And technology is an enabler to ensure that we create for people to the next, to the future, for future proofing and also to adjust to their evolving lifestyle. And nature as well is that nature is also part of our clients, I would say, because it's that without nature, all human beings' lives cannot survive. So we must actually make sure that we integrate natures into the district as well. So for health and also for the lifestyle and the whole part of whole ecosystem.
Thank you. Just now we heard from Mr. Yoshida that today there are actually many emerging technologies. You have robotics, you have AI, you have digital twin. Perhaps in your mind, what is one most important technology that we could actually adopt to actually bring this whole concept about smart and sustainability together?
Okay. Actually, yes, you're right. I mean, there are a lot of the technology is available, like AI and robot. But actually, technology itself is more like a commodity. Anyone can use, anyone can purchase. But to use the technology for the facility management, very difficult. It's more like a kind of marriage, I mean, between the technology and old-fashioned real operation. So to use the technology for the real, operation, it's very difficult. For example, we already saw that the cleaning robot in Australia. Let's say market size is, 100 or 200 units a year before. Once we acquired the one facility management company in Singapore, we deployed at more than 200 robots a year. It's more than the market size. So let's say, purchasing technology is, not so difficult. But using technology is very difficult because we need to have the deep understanding of the, operation as well as the technology. Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Inoue, we heard about the robots, and you build buildings, you build in estates that is livable. How do you integrate a robot system into your buildings? And how do you encourage, say, for example, the facility manager to be able to use the robots to help them to be a little bit more productive?
Thank you. 実はまちづくりでロボットはいろいろなところで使われます。例えば建物を作るときにですね、やはりその自動化だとか省力化というところでも使われますし、それから建物を維持するためのですねロボット、先ほどから吉田さんがいろいろな事例を紹介いただきましたけれども、そういったところで使われるものもあります。ただもう少し普段ここで、働いたり過ごしている人たちが実際に感じられるところでは、例えば、移動手段ですとかですね、あるいはお店での応対ですとかですね、そういったところにも確実にやっぱりロボットが増えてくるということになるのではないかなというふうに思います。で、そうしたものに対してやはり町がですね、そのロボットの使い方をどういう目的で使っているんだというのをですね、きちんと示してあげるということがですね、一つ大事であるかなと思います。人間はどうしても新しいものが来ると、特に日本人はそうかもしれませんけれども、最初にちょっとまず否定的なところから入りがちですけれども、やはりその町としてはこの使い方というものをですね示してあげる。で、こういうふうに使うとあなたのこの過ごし方がですねもっといいことになりますよというその方向性をきちんと示してあげることで、その導入に関してその人々が徐々に慣れていく。で、そのメリットを実感してさらに使えるようになる。こういうことをですね サイクルでこう常にこうやってあげる必要があるのではないかなというふうに思っています。
Thank you. Well, let's talk a little bit about engagement. I hear about how you engage with the people who use your buildings, people who actually design your buildings. So when it comes to community engagement, how do we work with businesses and residents to shape the district in such a way that it becomes smart and sustainable? And maybe Mr. Yamagata-san.
Yeah, this engagement is also very important and key factors for the success and sustainability of the community in the future. So it's a very big challenge for the Japanese construction companies as well. And like a LEED certification system is actually just certified before the construction, right? So for the continuation and sustainability of the maintenance of the building and the community, we need to engage people from the beginning. So that is why I see a lot of opportunity of use of the digital twin technologies to actually visualize the future plan, and also using the AR, VR, even metaverse technology can be used, actually experience the different possibilities, and to actually involve and actually invite the local stakeholder to actually feel and decide their own future, including children, perhaps. So I hope this digital twin technology can have a good future for that purpose.
Maybe a question to Jesse, how, before you even start your project, how do you engage those different stakeholders, including the end user?
We have actually a lot of workshops. We have different set of workshops with different stakeholders like yourself, and to see that what is your needs and your wish list, and then we will tailor out. And also is that different agency as well, where the government agency, not only JTC, but we have to deal with the authority. And also is that what are the possible tenants that you may be engaging to as well, so that we will go in and to address different users' needs. And then we pull together to see that what is the most essential for us to achieve sustainability together with the smart. Because sometimes is that you may want to have a lot of wish lists, but economically wise, it may not be viable. So we will do our life cycle analysis, CBA, cost benefit analysis, to table out and address these concerns, and then to see that, Mr. Clients, this is what we will propose based on your needs, based on the future proving and resilience, and this is what we will propose in that. And of course, community-wise is that we will leave it to the agencies to engage with the community to see what is their feedback, and then what is their visions for the future and smart district as well. And they will take into that, in their feedback into accounts, and then we will see that what actually can be implemented. Because after all, district is still building for the people. Yeah.
Can I add one?
Yes, Mr. Yoshida.
Yes. I'd like to add one comment about the engagement. The case study I introduced at my presentation, there is a concierge to get a direct communication, direct request from the tenant employee. And what is the most popular, initiatives of the concierge is the putting the flower on each washroom. So that is a kind of the proposal from the tenant employee, and she did the putting the flower, and then it is the biggest impact on the customer satisfaction. So she established the direct relationship with the tenant employee and act as a kind of community manager. So she can, develop that the engagement with each community member. So it's very interesting. This is digital transformation project, but core value is more like a human touch engagement as a community manager.
Yes. Mr. Une, as a master developer of a beautiful estate, how do you engage your customers, your businesses? And are these the type of technology that they want, or are these the type of facilities that they want?
Thank you. そうですね。先ほど少し働き方が変わったという話をしましたけれども、実は5年前から COVID で人はオフィスに来なくなりました、一旦ですね。で、その時にもうオフィスはいらないというふうに新聞なんかでメディアでは報道されたんですけれども、私がその時考えていたのは、やはりCOVID はいつか収まるだろうと。で、その時にじゃあ人々はどういうふうに行動するだろうかということで、私はやっぱりその時街が2019年に戻るんではないんではないかなとは思っていたんですね。で、その時に徐々にやっぱり月日が経って戻ろうとした時に、もう日本人を含め世界の全体の人の価値観というのはかなり変わってきたと思うんですけれども、やはりある一定のところでずっと働いているということは徐々にしなくなってきた。で、やっぱり働くということ、それから、いろいろな人と食事をしたり楽しむということ、それから住むということ、その辺の境界が少しずつぼやけてきた。同じ場所でもそういったことを複数のことをやれるようなものを好むような、人が増えてきたんではないかなというふうに思ってます。で、その時にやっぱり丸の内は、ある決まった人たちがずっと働いている場所ではなくて、いろいろな人たちが、1週間に5日働いている人もいるけれども、週に1日来る人もいる。あるいは月に2、3回来る人もいる。で、そういう人たちがいろいろ混じり合って新しい出会いだとか、そういう交流をですね、できるような街にしていけないかなということを考えました。で、そのためにはやはりいろいろなテクノロジーを使って、どういったところに、どういったことが行われるのか、で、そこに参加したい人がどうすれば参加できるのかというですね、そういったものをですね、なるべく広く伝えられるようにするということ。で、こういったものがですね、非常に、これからの街にとって大事なことになるのではないかなというふうに考えています。
Thank you very much. Let's change the shift to financial sustainability a bit. Technology, as all of us know, costs money. And sometimes as developers or as stakeholders, we may say that in order to achieve environmental sustainability, why don't we use something a bit less costly? So how would you balance between environmental sustainability and the high cost of using technology to achieve sustainability? Maybe Yoshida-san.
Okay. So maybe I can not have the direct answer for the how to do the cost management for the sustainability, but related to the cost management, maybe we can leverage the AI capability. In Australia, in our facility management company, we operate over 100 shopping malls, like cleaning and security. But some shopping mall profitability is very high, which means we can manage the cost. Some shopping mall, we are losing money. So profitability is pretty low. So there is the difference between the Class A site facility manager and Class C facility manager. And what we are doing right now is we make the pair couple between the Class A and Class C, and they do the, let's say, coaching. And then we feed those data into the AI. And finally, maybe AI can give that better recommendation for the, let's say, managing cost, even for the new higher facility manager or junior facility manager. So I hope that the AI can provide the better solution for the, let's say, cost management, including the sustainability.
Mr. Inoue, would you put in a lot of money to make your estate and your buildings a lot more sustainable? And what kind of a so-called business model would you put in?
Thank you. 一つ、サステナブルをですね、こう前面に、押し出すことによってですね、やはりそこの、ビルであるとか、そこのエリアにいる人たちが、やはりそういったことを考えられるようなその仕組みをですね、取り入れるということ、これは一つ大事だというふうに思います。なぜならば、やはりそこに立地することによって、例えばその人であるとか、その企業がですね、やっぱりそういうサステナビリティに対して行動ができるということはですね、やっぱりその株主だとか、そういった人たちにもアピールできるわけですね。ですから、例えば丸の内であれば、丸の内エリアというのはやっぱりエリアでいろいろなコミュニティがあって、その中にはサステナビリティを考えるコミュニティがいくつか存在します。で、そういったことも含めて、そこに立地している企業がそういう行動を起こせるということはですね、やはりその企業が立地するメリットにつながるんではないかなというふうに思います。それから、大阪の例、先ほどご紹介したグラングリーン大阪はですね、非常に大きな、緑の、公園をですね、作ったわけですけれども、我々はそこを単に建物に隣り合っている公園ではなくて、やはりその公園も含めての一つの街だとして運営しようとしました。その時に要するに単に、緑を量として置くだけではなくて、やはりそこの緑の中でいろいろなことができるよという、提案をですね、一緒に考えたわけですね、街づくりの中で。そうすることによって建物の中で同じことをやるのと、緑に覆われた空間で同じことをやるのとで、やはり人々が感じるやっぱり質が違うということをですね、認識することで、じゃあそこの緑の空間を使って何かをやりたいというイベントの事業者だとか、あるいはここのそのホールにじゃあ自分の名前をつけてもっとアピールしたいとか、そういう企業が集まる。で、そういう人たちがお金を出すことによって、開発する事業者以外の人たちがその運営に関わると、そういった、お金も含めてですね、システムを作ろうというふうにしています。こういったものを全ての緑の空間でできるかどうかは正直私も自信がないですけれども、やはりそういったことも考えながらの開発ということが一つそのサステナビリティの向上につながるのではないかなというふうに思っています。
Thank you very much. We have MLIT here, and of course, JTC as a government agency. In your opinion, what policy and regulations can the government put in place to help promote or encourage more sustainable and smart development? Professor Yamagata.
Perhaps this is one of the most difficult questions for Japanese government, perhaps, but my suggestion is that most important change that Japanese government now facing is how these silos of policies can be overcome by integrative policies. For instance, especially in the urban setting, like building planning and transport planning and human welfare planning, these are separated by the separate government divisions, departments. So you have to create integrative policies and implement this policy in a collaborative manner will be very challenging, but most important for the future sustainability of the city, I think.
Maybe an example of Singapore. How can the Singapore government help set certain policy and regulation to support sustainable and smart development?
Yes. Singapore is very advanced in terms of the smart facility management. One of the reasons is the, let's say, contract type of the facility management. Most of the contract is the output-based contract for the cleaning, for the security, which Singapore government strongly lead. Educate at all over the facility management to change the cleaning contract or security contract. However, in Japan, most of the contract of the cleaning or security is headcount based, or let's say input based. So as I said, it's very difficult to drive the digital transformation because that the client might say, you committed 10 cleaner, 10 security guard. Why you use robot? So there is a hurdle for changing the contract. So maybe one of the idea is the government can lead the changing the contract type from the input to output. Singapore government provided the standard template of the, let's say, facility management contract as an output-based contract. So that might be the one of the idea.
Okay, we have about 10 minutes left, and I'd like to, move this into another phase of discussion. You have heard a lot about many smart and sustainable estates around the world. In your opinion, which estate or district or city do you consider as smart, and why? Jessie, would you like to start off?
I would say that Rambo have done a lot of master planning stage, but my role here is more towards Asia Pacific. So the recent one is that that PDD that we have done, and I would say that this is one of the the leading smart district, and it's the first of the kind in Singapore, where it actually integrate businesses together with institutional and also surrounded by the neighborhood. And if you ask me which one I want to live or want to work, I would say is that probably PDD, because it's very close to my heart as a Singaporean, and I'm very proud to be part of this journey together with JTC. And yes, I would say is that the Punggol Digital District is one of the upcoming and future-proving district that actually puts Singapore onto that map that a lot of other neighboring countries within the region can actually learn from there.
Professor?
Actually, it depends on the definition of smart, what smart means. So in terms of technology or decision making and use of IT technology, sensor technology, I think Singapore, of course, is a smart city. But smartness is not only that. For some people, actually, already tired of too much IT informations, overflow of all kinds of email, looking at the smartphone all day, and this is very much stressful. So if we say high well-being of people is a smart, then a very traditional Japanese village, which do not have any IT technology, might be very smart. But I don't know if this is really smart. Just simply old, traditional. But actually, in terms of nature, culture, food, these three elements exist. But maybe we need to combine these two, perhaps in the future.
Mr. Yoshida.
Okay. This is more like a potential smart city, but I think that the Tokyo has the biggest potential because for example, most of the building in, let's say, Otemachi or Marunouchi area is, operated by Mitsubishi real estate, and most of the building near the, let's say, Nihonbashi area in Tokyo operated by Mitsui-san, Mitsui real estate. I think that that's very rare. If each building operated by different vendor, it's very difficult to make them smart. But if we operate all over the, let's say, buildings, then we can do a lot of things. I mean, we don't have to, put that each security guard for each building, mechanical maintenance people for each building. Rather, we can have the centralized security guard system or a mechanical maintenance system, and then we can detect that the needs for each building. One example, as I shared, that the concierge, actually, she is handling over 5 buildings rather than 1 building, because that we can just put that the QR code across the 5 buildings, but all of 5 building tenant employee believe that she is dedicated to this building. that kind of things, it can be done by, how to say, the area management by one company. So there is a huge potential for Tokyo.
And Mr. Inoue-san.
もしタンさんの質問がですね、この20年間で一番スマートに変わったところはどこだと言われれば、私は丸の内と自信を持って手を挙げるんですけれども、もう少し短いスパンで見ますとですね、やはり先ほども少しお話ししましたけれども、この5年間でですね、やっぱりいろいろなところで街の考え方が変わっている。で、特にヨーロッパは都市によって車を徹底的に排除して、やっぱり歩ける空間を増やそうとしている。で、日本もですね、国土交通省を含めウォーカブルという軸を打ち出してですね、今変えてますけれども、日本はちょっともう少し緩やかに変わってますけれども、例えばスペインのバルセロナみたいな都市はですね、やっぱりそれを極めて速いスピードで入れていって、交通体系を変えたりとかですね、やっぱり道路を歩行者空間にかなり大きく変えていったりとか、そういうスピードが速いところはやっぱり日本以外にもあるのかなというふうに思いまして、やはりそういったところの進め方だとか、あるいはそこに働く人、住む人の合意の取り方とか、そういったことはいろいろ勉強していかなきゃいけないんだろうなというふうに思ってます。
Thank you very much. Well, today we are actually located within the World Expo Osaka, and the theme of this expo is really about designing future society for our lives. And in this particular pavilion, this is the Singapore Pavilion, this building, the big red sphere, is actually called a dream sphere. So, focusing on the perspective of smart and sustainable cities and development, perhaps each panelist can tell us, what is your dream for the future? What is your dream to create a sustainable and smart society for our lives? Perhaps we could start from Mr. Inoue-san.
そうですね、私のやっぱり町としての夢はですね、やっぱり、我々は三菱地所という会社は主にそういう開発をする仕事ですけれども、やはり建物を作り終わった時、竣工した時がピークではなくて、やはりピーク竣工してからですね、そこに人々が入ってそこでいろいろその建物を使ってそこで、なんか仕事ができたり、あとは喜んだり美味しいものを食べたりと、そこで喜んでいる姿がピークだというふうに考えてますので、やはりそういったことをですね、どれだけ、建物も含めた道路も含めたですね、その全体の空間が盛り上げられるかということをですね、どこまでできるかなということをですね、やってみたいというふうに思ってます。そのためにはやはりスマートの技術を含めた DX と、それからもう一つはやっぱりサステナビリティですね、そういう GX、そういったもののミクスチャーが必要になっていて、それを人々の心にですね、どれだけ浸透させられるかということがやってみたいことです。
Mr. Yoshida.
Yes. My dream is to develop the washroom cleaning robot. There are a lot of the still very dirty and tough tasks for facility management. I mean, not only that the washroom cleaning, for example, standing security, it's very tough. So we like to develop the smart AI and robot technology to support those kind of let's say, dirty or tough task. And then we, human, can focus more on as I said, high-touch services, high-value-add services, and human interaction, humanity type of things. So that is more like our dream.
Professor, what is your dream for the future?
Okay, this is a question I always ask my students, but never ask to myself. So, in fact, just tentatively, I think I'd like to use all kinds of technologies, new emerging technology, AI and robotics, to help people to actually feel, sense, and taste nature culture food. Okay, that's my objective.
Thank you. And Jessie, your final words.
My future city will be very simple. All right, it will have to be safe, and we can enjoy the nature. I think nature is the most important. No doubt that we get technology, but technology is just a technology, it's an enabler. But I think nature itself is actually the heart of a future city. Without nature, everything can't work. That is my philosophy. So anything that we do, nature comes first, community, people, and then technology comes in as an integrated part of our ecosystem.
Thank you very much, all the wonderful panelists. I really appreciate your time this morning and now into the afternoon. It is really a very important topic for all of us, of how we want to create a future, that we can live happily and we can live in a very conducive environment. I think it is all about how we create a future that can integrate the various technologies that can come together so that we can actually live a more sustainable and happy life in the future. So with that, I really appreciate all your time this afternoon to share with us. And I would like to say thank you very much. Let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to all panelists and our moderator for your valuable insights. Now we would like to present some tokens of appreciation to our panelists. But before that, please give us a moment to shift the furniture. Thank you for your patience.